A Better Route Chapter 103. Kisame and Tenkei jumped from branch to branch as they made their way to the hidden leaf in search of the seven tails. Both of them were dead tired from having to go at this pace for the past 2 days, and Kisame finally said, "Fuck it, I'm not gonna be any good if I have to fight them tired anyways. I'm talking a damn break." The two of them landed on a branch and Teneki sighed, "Thank God you said it before I did. You do tend to tire out before I do." Kisame smirked, "Yeah, but you have a damn good time while I'm up and running, don't you?" Teneki rolled her eyes a little, "Don't get too cocky now, I'll cut you off at any time." Kisame scoffed in mock hurt, "Like you could go a week without me." Teneki laid down on the branch, "Whatever you say, fish cake." Kisame still hated it when she called him that but didn't get as mad about anymore. "If you don't like the way I look, then why do stick with me?" Teneki sat up and gave him a quick kiss on the cheek. "I'm just teasing. I love my big badass shark." Kisame couldn't help but think how strange it was for two people like them to be having a moment like this. He looked in her eyes and knew it was finally time to ask, "Teneki, you know how I ended up in the Akatsuki, but I've never been able to get you to tell me how you ended up here. We've got a little time, so how up you finally give me an answer." Teneki tried to change the subject. "You up for a quickie?" Kisame was about to say, "Hell ye, no, I gotta control myself here." "Teneki, why don't you wanna tell me? Don't you trust me?" Teneki hated it when he asked her that. "Of course I do. It's just really hard for me to talk about it." Sigh, "Just promise me you won't get all mopey on me, okay?" Kisame raised an eyebrow. "When have I ever been mopey?" Teneki laughed. "Good point. It all started when I in the hidden cloud first learning how to use my bloodline." Flashback. A young Teneki was backing from an angry mob, screaming at them, "I didn't mean to. I swear I didn't mean to do it." A member of mob threw an empty bottle at her. "You fried your freaking sensei." Teneki was crying, "I don't how I did it. First I was gathering up lighting chakra like he told me to, and I finished the jutsu he was teaching me. I was so happy I ran to hug him and, sniff, and he." Another member of the mod finished, "And you shocked him to death. You're telling me there was an accident?" Teneki continued to sob, "It was. I don't even know how I did it." Finally Teneki's father ran up to save her. "Please, just let me take my daughter home and let the authorities sort all of this out properly." Teneki ran up to the warm embrace of her father. "Daddy." She jumped into his arms. "It's okay, pumpkin, I've got you." Teneki may have been 12-year-old Genin, but that didn't mean that she didn't need comfort from her parents. Sadly it wouldn't last long as father cried out, "Ah!" Teneki jumped off to see her father clutching his chest and panting. She started to cry again. "I knew it. I'm a monster who hurts everybody." Her father tried to reason with her. "No, you're not. You've just got a bloodline, that's all." Teneki was backing away for her father. "Then why don't you or mom have it?" He was so scared she wouldn't understand. "It's very rare for anyone to actually activate it. You've just gotta learn how to control it." One of the mob walked towards her menacingly. "No. She killed her sensei, for crying out loud. We're not gonna just sit around and hope she learns to control it." Teneki was getting really scared. "Please just leave me alone." The man walked up and grabbed her by the arm. It was clear his intolerance wasn't the only thing that made him an idiot. Teneki's fear caused her to repulse more electricity than before, far more than enough to burn the man to a crisp. He screamed in pain all during his final moment. His limp body fell to the ground, his corpse a smoking mess. Teneki looked at the body and started to cry even harder. She turned around and started to sprint away. Her father tried to chase after her, but he was still out of it after being shocked. "Teneki. Wait. Teneki was already gone though. No one saw her in the hidden cloud after that day. Flashback end. Teneki finished her story and Kisame whistled, "Damn, that just sucks. You really never went back?" Teneki had a hard time explaining all of this. "I went close to the village once or twice to learn what happened to my dad and mom, but other than that no." Kisame was still confused on a few things. "Okay, but why didn't you just go back in a few days once things had settled down?" Teneki wasn't sure she could explain how she felt way back then. "I did go just outside the village to learn what happened with my father. That's what clinched me staying away. I found out that I gave him a heart murmur and a few other complications as well. He was forced to quit his career as a ninja because of me. That was his dream and I took it from him. I just couldn't face him after that, and I could face my friends after killing my sensei." Kisame figured that all sounded pretty screwed up. "So what did you do then?" Teneki sighed. "I traveled around the world and learned how to control my powers. What else?" Kisame already knew that, "But how did you end up as a member of the Akatsuki?" Teneki had almost forgotten that part. "Pain told me we could make a world where there was no more pain and suffering. When I traveled the world, I saw some pretty fucked up shit and frankly it turned me into the cynical bitch you see today." Kisame had no idea she had such a colorful past. "That really sucks, man." Teneki shrugged. Gotta do what you've gotta do in this world. Come on, let's get moving again. We've rested long enough." A new voice barked at them from the trees. "I just hope you're rested up enough to get your asses kicked." Teneki and Kisame got right into a defensive position as Mito, Fu, Kiba, and Shino jumped down from the trees. "When did these assholes get here?" Mito cracked her knuckles. "A few seconds ago, not that it matters. We're here to make sure you pricks don't make it to the hidden leaf." Teneki growled. "Fine little girl. If you want to come to use to us so that we can capture you, that's just fine. Kisame, you take Dog Boy and his girlfriend, I'll take this bitch." Fu didn't take kindly to being called a bitch. "Oh, it's on now." Naruto and Karen were chatting to each other about being the last Uzumakis as they went on their way to find Pain. "So are you sure it's just me, you, and Nagato?" Karen hadn't heard about any others. "I haven't heard about anybody else at all, so I'm assuming it's just us." Naruto frowned a little bit. "Do you think there's any shot of restarting the clan?" Karen didn't think so, not unless both us want to break up with our clan heads and start it back up. Naruto saw her point. "Yeah, there's no chance I'm breaking up with Hinata-chan for that." Karen agreed wholeheartedly. "Yeah, the Uzumaki clan has been considered dead for years. Let's face it, restarting would just cause too much trouble." Conan felt it was time to warn Naruto what he was in for. "I must tell you, Naruto, even at your level, Pain isn't to be underestimated." Naruto wasn't that stupid. He killed Uncle Jiraiya. I know he isn't a lightweight. Conan went into his battle style. Pain's 6 paths can see everything that each one of them sees. Basically, if you attack them, one of them, the other 5 can protect him. Each one has a different power. One that can absorb all ninjutsu, one that read minds, one that summons powerful animals, one that heals the others, one that can use powerful weapons produced from its body, and one that can control gravity itself. Naruto didn't like the sound of all of this. "Looks like I'm gonna have to pick them off strategically." Conan had been hoping he'd say that. Yes, that's the only real way to beat Pain. As far as what he'll start off with, he usually summons one of his animals. Before she could finish, a massive roar tore through the field. They jumped above the trees so that they could see what it was and found a massive 3-headed dog standing over them. "One like that?" Conan gulped. "Yeah, that's one of his all right." Gaara gave a long groan as he looked at the endless pile of paperwork on his desk. Even when using his sand to help, he still could never seem to get all of it done. Just as he was about to pick up another piece of paper, he heard some kind of explosion in the clearing just outside his office. He jumped out of the window and sprinted towards where the sound had come from. He saw his brother and sister standing across from two figures in cloaks. It didn't take longer before he pieced the situation together. One of them was screaming, "Art is an explosion." As the strange blonde man said it, two white birds flew from his hands and right for Temari. Gaara placed his hand on the ground and sand surrounded Temari, protecting her when the birds hit. They explode on contact and Gaara thanked God he'd gotten there on time. He ran up to his brother and sister, "Are you guys alright?" Kankuro and Temari were panting, "Yeah, we're good. We've got Sasori of the Red Sand and that crazy explosive expert from the Hidden Rock. We're dealing with some tough characters here." That's when a new voice entered the fray, Gaara-kun. He turned to see his girlfriend running his direction. "Sakura-chan, what are you doing here?" Sakura ran up to him along with her three companions. "We came to help. We just heard about these two coming for you guys." Sasori was starting to get nervous. "This is gonna be bad." Killer Bee stood behind his house practicing his always pleasant rapping, "Yo, float like a butterfly, sting like a killer bee, the mighty 8 tails, that's me." He didn't know that someone was watching him in the distance. Luckily for him, it was actually someone he wanted to see. "Hey, Killer Bee." Stopping his rap to around and see who it was, Killer Bee grinned when he saw who was coming. "Yo, Mr. Hokage. How you been, dude? Who's this fella next to you?" Obito ran up to him and said, "Bee, thank God we made it before she did. Oh, and this is my son Kakashi." Kakashi gave a quick wave. "Yo." Bee gave him a small nod and asked, "Who were you trying to get here before, bro?" A thud was heard on the ground and they all turned to see a woman standing a few feet from them. "Oh fantastic, now I must fight you fools as well." Obito looked his mom in the eye. "It's been a long time, hasn't it, mother?" Tuhiya smirked under her bandages. "Oh yes, far too long, son." Killer Bee looked at Obito and then at Tuhiya. And I intruding on some kind of family thing, yo?" Obito took a deep breath. "You could say that, I suppose. If you wish you may join in on the fight, but you'd best getting out of here. It's you she's after." Killer Bee doesn't back down from a fight. "Hell no bro, I'm in this all the way." Kakashi was in too. "Same here dad, we're right behind you." Tuhiya growled, "I really do hate family gatherings. People always end up fighting. See you in the next one."